Yesterday, we had the return of the greatest of all time in mixed martial arts, Jon Jones. Jon Big Dick Bones Jones came back after taking 3 months off from competing at the highest level of martial arts, of mixed martial arts. What up, Harry Pert? How was your day? It was good, man. A lot of birthday parties, say that. Now we're stuck on Johnny Big Dick Bones Jones. Okay. Comes back after fighting, taking 3 years, not 3 months, 3 years off. Hey, did I say 3 months? I apologize. 3 years. I'll tell you guys right now, if I took 3 years off from fighting, I wouldn't be coming back. I would not be coming back. But the most impressive thing about Jon Jones' return to the octagon was probably how easily he dismantled Ciryl Gane. Okay. I did not work with Jones leading up there, Debo. I did not. He left when I got there. But when Jones was going to fight Ciryl Gane, I told Henry the biggest thing that I'm worried about is Ciryl Gane's movement, right? Because Jon Jones has a skill set to do whatever he wants in the cage. I've always believed in that. Even when we fought in the same cards, you know, UFC 191 when he fought, I think that was St. Proofs, I think OSP. I always felt he can do whatever he wanted to an opponent. It was just a matter of time when he wanted to do it, when he didn't want to do it. When he fought Rampage Jackson, I felt like when he pulled guard on Rampage Jackson, I was like, yeah, he can do whatever he wants to Rampage too. But the biggest thing that I take away from that fight is that Jon Jones didn't need to gain 50 pounds to do what he did to Ciryl Gane. He didn't need, Jon Jones doesn't need to be heavyweight. Jon Jones could have done that if he was 205, right? If you look at all the great athletes who've gone up in weight and became a champion, you know, you look at Conor McGregor, you look at Henry Cejudo, those guys went down a weight class and then they went back to their natural weight class to become champions. You look at Conor McGregor, dropped down to 145, beat everybody, knocked out Jose Aldo, went back up to 155, his natural weight, knocked out Eddie Alvarez. You look at Henry Cejudo, he dropped down to 125 and then he beat me, and then he moved up to 135, beat Marlon Moraes, and then he became the double champ. Now you have a special case where you have guys try to do that and they come up short, like Volkanovski. He went up to fight Islam Makhachev. He could have won that fight. That fight could have went either way. You look at Israel Adesanya. He's 185 pound champ, the middleweight champ. He was, but he went up to light heavyweight and tried to beat Blachowicz, right? But those two gentlemen came up short, and I think they came up short because they lacked the size. I don't think Volkanovski lacked the size. I think his could have gone either way. I think, you know, he was taking it to Islam, so we won't use him for an example, but we'll use Israel Adesanya for example because you saw a clear-cut difference when he went up to light heavyweight to win that world title against Blachowicz. Is he lacked two things. One was the size. He was way smaller than Blachowicz, and he also lacked the skill set to beat Blachowicz with the wrestling and the grappling. Now we look at the anomaly of the sport, which is Jon Jones, right? The GOAT. Takes 3 years off of mixed martial arts. Takes 2 years off to gain all this weight to become the heavyweight champion of the world of the UFC. Me personally, I don't think he needed to gain all that weight. The reason why I say this is because Jon Jones has a better skill set than anybody at heavyweight. Let that sink in for a little bit. Hey, I should be recording this because this would be good. You know, watch. But all the 200 viewers here can get this from the baby goat's mouth. Okay, is Jon Jones' skill set is far more superior than everybody at heavyweight. You look at Francis Ngannou, he has a lot of knockout power, not very good wrestling, not very good jiu-jitsu. Look at Ciryl Gane, great footwork, knockout power, not very good wrestling, not very good jiu-jitsu. You look at Stipe Miocic. Stipe Miocic doesn't really have a ground game. He's not really known for his knockout power. He's really known for his cardio and his combinations. Okay. John Jones has displayed knockout power, displayed grappling ability, wrestling ability, and the biggest thing too is that John Jones is 6'4", 6'5". So he's actually fighting guys that are his height, right? So do I think John Jones should have gained all that weight? No. I would like to see him stay at 205 or 225. 225 fucking shredded. Not 220, not 253 he is now, but it is what it is. But I think John Jones could have done what he did to Gane at 205 because his skill set's so much better than his. I always say this, and I'll have this written on my gravestone. Mixed martial arts is the easiest sport to become a world champion in. The reason why I say this is because you could take someone who's very high level in one aspect of the fight game and put him in a game where you have no fucking idea what's going on. Like John Jones literally just sat on Cyril Gane's lap and choked him out. He literally sat on his lap. He sat on his lap and says, "Give it to me, daddy." And he choked him out. Cyril Gane had no answer. He didn't hand fight. He didn't push his hips away. He didn't push his hips away and kick his feet, kick John Jones' base, disturb his base. He literally let John Jones sit on his lap and finish him with a front choke. That's literally what happened. Right? I would show you guys it, but there was no hand fight. There was nothing. And that's why I say John Jones didn't need to gain 200, be 250 to do what he did to Cyril Gane, right? Even when he fights Stipe. Now let's look ahead. Now let's look ahead to Stipe Miocic. Okay. John Jones is gonna get in that ass. I like Stipe, but I don't think they realize that John Jones is. I mean, I've worked out with him in the same room, and John Jones is gonna be way more dynamic than Stipe. He's gonna wrestle. He's just the same size as Stipe. I don't think Stipe is gonna get as faster than John Jones. I don't think his combination is gonna be as good as John Jones, and John Jones is he's just gonna tear him apart. Like, could you imagine if John Jones was still 225, fast, lean, mean, quick? Like now, I think him having all that weight on, I think he is a little bit slower than he was when he was at 205, but he's gonna beat Stipe Miocic, and then there's nobody else for him to fight. And if he was to fight Francis Ngannou, he would have done the same thing to Francis Ngannou that he did to Cyril Gane. He would have taken him down, passed his guard, and submit him. And that's what you see from a high caliber athlete like that, is you study what your opponent's good at and you take them out of that realm where they're successful and you put them in a realm where they don't know how to breathe or even swim. And that's what we saw Saturday night. Okay, man, I need to start doing more talks like this.